As soon as I stepped off the plane in Karachi, I was immediately enveloped by the relentless heat, a stark contrast to the refreshing air I had enjoyed just moments before. It felt as if I had been wrapped in a heavy, warm blanket, a thick embrace that hinted at the vibrant life awaiting me outside. The bustling airport was an explosion of sights and sounds, from the vendors energetically hawking spicy snacks to the joyous reunions of families greeting loved ones with open arms. The atmosphere was electric. A cacophony of voices mingled in a kaleidoscope of languages, weaving together a tapestry of culture that made my heart race. Despite being an outsider, I felt an unexplainable connection to this dynamic city, a curious sense of belonging amidst the delightful chaos that surrounded me. My first destination in Karachi was the famed Clifton Beach, a vast expanse of golden sand that met the tumultuous waves of the Arabian Sea. As I made my way there, the salty sea breeze tousled my hair, bringing with it the energizing scent of the ocean. The rhythmic sound of the waves crashing against the shore was a melody unlike any I had experienced before. Families gathered on the beach, their laughter ringing out like joyful music as they built sandcastles, their creative structures rising like small fortresses against the ever-persistent tide. Fishermen navigated the waters in small boats, skillfully casting their nets, as if performing a delicate dance to the rhythm of the sea. Whimsical as it was, my attention soon turned to a vendor selling fresh bel puri, a local spicy puffed rice snack that had a reputation for being utterly addictive. Curious, I approached the stand, captivated by the vibrant colors of the ingredients laid out before me. "Have you tried it before?" the vendor asked with a twinkle in his eye, his smile wide and inviting. I shook my head, and that simple gesture ignited a spirited conversation. His laughter was infectious, echoing like the joyous sounds of the beach around us. Before long, an exchange of stories unfolded between us. We discussed everything from the national passion for cricket to the hidden gems of Karachi that only locals seemed to know about. In those fleeting moments, it struck me profoundly that every person I encountered had the potential to open a door to an adventure I had yet to imagine. But the heart of Karachi never stayed still for long. As I ventured deeper into the narrow streets of Sadar, the atmosphere shifted subtly but significantly. I found myself momentarily lost in a labyrinth of bustling bazaars and chaotic energy, surrounded by colorful stalls filled with fragrant spices, exuberant fabrics, and bustling shoppers haggling for the best deals. It was here that fate decided to intervene in an unexpected way. Suddenly, a stranger bumped into me, a figure who appeared both wise and intriguing. He was an elderly man with glinting eyes that seemed to hold the stories of 1,000 sunsets, and his beard flowed like a river down his chest. "You're looking for something?" he asked, his voice gravelly, yet warm, like the earth beneath my feet. His inquisitive gaze locked onto mine, prompting me to ponder not only my physical surroundings, but also the journey my heart was eager to undertake. It felt as if he could see through the facade I wore, an eager traveler hungry for connection and understanding. "I'm not quite sure," I replied, my curiosity piqued. The streets buzzed around us, but in this moment, it felt as though time stood still. Perhaps just a bit of adventure and the stories this city has to tell. The corners of his mouth curled into a knowing smile. "Then you shall find what you seek, young traveler. Karachi has a way of revealing its treasures to those who are open to its heartbeat." With those words, he gestured with a sweep of his hand, as if inviting the entire city to join our conversation. As we chatted, he shared snippets of his life, tales of Karachi through decades, the changes he had witnessed, and the people who had shaped the city. It was as if he was an unspoken historian, imparting his wisdom with every word. "You know," he said contemplatively, "every corner of this city has its own spirit. It is alive, thrumming with the dreams and struggles of its inhabitants." Intrigued, I asked him what places I absolutely could not miss during my stay. He leaned closer, a spark of enthusiasm lighting up his eyes as he began to list them. The vibrant streets of Little India, where the scents of spices would swirl through the air, the historical marvels at Frere Hall, rich with colonial architecture, and the relentless energy of the street markets, where life seemed to ripple with each transaction. "My favorite spot," he continued, "is the Pakistan Maritime Museum. It's a place that tells the story of our connection with the sea, our heritage coming alive with every display." His passion was contagious. By the end of our conversation, I was convinced that my adventure in Karachi would be rich and fulfilling, a treasure map laid out before me, and I was the explorer ready to traverse its uncharted paths. Once our conversation had concluded, he bid me farewell, his parting words echoing in my mind like a captivating melody. With a heart full of anticipation, I set out once more into the vibrant streets of Karachi. Each step, each interaction, felt like a new brush stroke on the canvas of my adventure, coloring the day with unforgettable experiences and indelible memories. I could hardly wait to see what else this dynamic city had in store for me. Whirling into the heart of the markets, my senses were overwhelmed by the vivid colors around me. The saffron and turmeric powders lined up like jewels, the fabrics flowing in the soft breeze, and the mouths of traders calling out in cheerful negotiations. I picked up some handmade crafts, marveling at the intricate designs that told stories of rich traditions, and engaged with the locals, swapping tales and laughter as if we were old friends. As evening descended, the sun painted the horizon with strokes of orange and pink. I found myself drawn to a small, bustling Karachi restaurant that had been recommended by a friend back home. The aroma wafting through the air was simply irresistible. I took a seat outside, allowing the warm evening breeze to embrace me. A waiter approached, and after a friendly exchange, I ordered a classic dish, chicken karahi, and lost myself in the vibrant atmosphere around me. It wasn't long before I was immersed in animated conversation with a fellow diner at the adjacent table, a young man named Fahad. We quickly discovered a shared enthusiasm for travel and exploration. With sparkling eyes and an infectious laugh, he illuminated hidden spots around Karachi that had eluded me, including the cultural hub of Nazmabad and the artistic enclave of Burns Garden. We connected over a mutual love for adventure and culture, exchanging stories of past travels and discussing the beauty and diversity of our respective homelands. After our meal, Fahad invited me to join him as he showed me the nearby streets illuminated by flickering lights and adorned with vibrant murals that celebrated the city's rich heritage. Each mural seemed to narrate a story, a scene from history, or a glimpse of modern life. It was as if the walls themselves were alive, whispering secrets to those who took the time to listen. As we strolled through the streets, laughter and a sense of camaraderie filled the air. I felt an unmistakable bond forming between us, a connection that transcended our different backgrounds. The warmth of the Karachi nights made everything feel possible, as if the universe was conspiring in our favor, orchestrating encounters that would become cherished memories. Flashes of a radiant Karachi painted a picture that captivated me, one filled with stories, sounds, and an ever-present warmth that lingered long after the sun dipped below the horizon. Karachi had a way of wrapping itself around my heart. My journey there was evolving, filled with unexpected friendships and a deeper understanding of the beauty found in human connections. What I initially thought was a simple visit to a new city had morphed into a profound exploration of culture, camaraderie, and the indescribable magic that happens when you open your heart to the world around you. With every passing moment, I was learning that sometimes, the adventures that challenge our perceptions or push us out of our comfort zones are the most rewarding. And as I prepared for my next leg of the journey to Peshawar, I couldn't shake the feeling that Karachi was only the beginning of something much bigger, a chapter in a story yet to unfold. My journey began in Lahore, a city pulsating with life, culture, and history. The air carried the scent of fragrant spices, and the streets were abuzz with the chatter of merchants and the laughter of children. I was enthralled by the intricacies of its architecture, where ancient mosques stood shoulder to shoulder with modern structures, each telling its own story. As I strolled through the Lahore fort, the walls echoed with whispers of rulers and poets who once walked its grounds. I could almost hear the flutter of pigeons and the crackle of street vendors preparing their wares. My stop in Lahore was only the beginning, a stepping stone that heightened my anticipation for Karachi. After spending a few days immersed in the colors and flavors of Lahore, I boarded a bus, my heart racing with excitement. The journey to Karachi was filled with picturesque landscapes, rolling hills, and the vast horizon stretching before me. The sun dipped below the skyline, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink as I approached my next destination. Karachi welcomed me with a different energy. The moment I set foot on its bustling streets, I felt the contrast. The chaos was palpable, a symphony of honking cars and shouting vendors. The heat wrapped around me like a thick blanket, but it was invigorating. An old man, his beard as white as freshly fallen snow, spotted me as I ambled through the crowd. "Follow the colors of the city," he whispered with a sense of urgency, before melting into the sea of people. Confused yet curious, I found myself drawn to the kaleidoscope of life around me. As I wandered through the street markets, the world transformed before my eyes. Bright fabrics hung like vibrant tapestries, swirling in the warm breeze, each textile telling its own unique tale. The scent of cardamom and cinnamon wafted through the air, mingling with the laughter of children and the cries of merchants securing sales. I approached a merchant, a middle-aged woman with wise eyes that sparkled with passion. She recounted her grandmother's journey from Indian Punjab to Karachi, her voice filled with pride and nostalgia. Her stories opened a doorway to a deep longing within me, to uncover more narratives hidden among the bustling streets and vibrant bazaars. As the sun began to sink below the horizon, casting an amber glow over the city, I felt the transformation of Karachi's spirit. I wandered to the iconic Quaid-e-Azam's mausoleum, marveling at the pristine white dome, aglow in the soft golden lights. Its grandeur was mesmerizing. I stood there, enveloped in a blanket of serenity that seemed to transcend time. In that moment, I felt connected not only to the history of Pakistan, but also to the myriad souls who had come before me, each leaving behind a piece of their story. Just as I began to absorb the tranquility of the moment, a familiar figure emerged from the shadows, the same old man I encountered earlier. He was waving his arms frantically, his face etched with urgency. "You must come," he insisted, his eyes wide with excitement. I hesitated, torn between the peacefulness of the mausoleum and his compelling presence. But something in his gaze ignited my curiosity once more. "Where to?" I asked, my voice echoing slightly in the vastness of the mausoleum. "The colors await. There's more to see, to feel," he replied, spinning on his heel and leading the way, his energy contagious. He dashed through the vibrant streets of Karachi, and I followed closely behind, dodging bikes and families. We ventured through lanes packed with vivid artwork, murals sprawling across entire buildings, each piece a shout of identity and culture. Street performers danced to lively music, while artists meticulously painted portraits for eager passersby. I found myself mesmerized, taking in the essence of the city, feeling it seep into my bones. "See that?" The old man pointed at a nearby stall bursting with beautifully woven carpets. "Each thread tells a story. The weaver pours their soul into every design. Let's find out about them." We approached the stall, where a young artisan was carefully tying intricate knots. The old man introduced me, and the artisan's face lit up with delight as he shared the significance of his craft. Each carpet represented a journey, one that told tales of love, honor, and dreams. The passion in his voice was palpable, and I could feel my heart swelling with admiration for the resilience and creativity of the people around me. As the night deepened, we roamed through the streets, my senses alive with the flavors, sights, and sounds of Karachi. The old man and I shared stories about our lives, our cultures, forming a bond woven through the experiences of that evening. He spoke of his youth, of Karachi's evolution over the years, and the hope he held for the future. It was more than just an exploration of a city. It felt like a journey through time, tracing the footsteps of those who came before us. Eventually, our wanderings took us to the shoreline, where the waves crashed rhythmically against the rocks. The salty air filled my lungs as we stood by the beach, illuminated by the shimmering lights of the city behind us. "This is where the stories truly collide," he said, gazing out at the horizon. "Karachi is alive, a beautiful mess of dreams and struggles. It holds the laughter and the tears of its people." As I stood there, I realized that this adventure was not just about the places I visited, but the connections made along the way, the threads intertwining our stories. Karachi had shown me that beauty lies not only in the grand, but also in the simple moments. A shared smile, a heartfelt story, a vibrant tapestry of life woven together. And as I made my way back to my accommodation that night, the old man's words resonated within me. I understood then that the journey was only beginning, and there were countless more colors of Pakistan yet to explore. With the city's spirit coursing through me, I became eager for my next adventure, to visit Peshawar. From the whispers of the streets of Karachi to the ancient tales waiting to be rediscovered in Peshawar, my heart beat with excitement. Ready to embrace whatever awaited me next, my heart raced with both excitement and apprehension as I reflected on my recent visit to Lahore, Pakistan, a city alive with culture and history, vibrant bazaars, and mouth-watering street food. After soaking in the colors and vibrancy of Lahore, my journey took me to Karachi, a bustling metropolis that seemed to pulse with energy. As I stepped off the plane and felt the warm breeze against my skin, I couldn't help but wonder what stories awaited me in this sprawling coastal city. I was greeted by the cacophony of car horns, street vendors shouting their deals, and the tantalizing aroma of spices wafting through the air. It was a symphony of sound that filled my ears and ignited my senses. My local guide, a charming young man named Hassan, met me at the airport. His enthusiasm was infectious, and I soon found myself swept up in his excitement for the adventures that lay ahead. "Karachi is a city of contrasts," he said, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. You'll see everything from opulent mansions to bustling markets, beautiful beaches to historic sites. And each corner has a story to tell. I could hardly contain my exhilaration as he recounted tales of the city's past, each anecdote layered with tradition and passion. Our first stop was the iconic Mazar-e-Quaid, the mausoleum of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan. The structure's stunning white marble glistened in the sunlight, and I marveled at the intricate details that adorned it. As I climbed the minaret, the panoramic view of Karachi unveiled itself, a sprawling landscape of buildings, sea, and the horizon stretching endlessly. It was breathtaking. I felt a sense of connection to this land, to the legacy of those who fought for its independence. After soaking in the sights, we made our way to the vibrant boat basin, where street performers captivated a crowd with their acrobatics and music. One particularly talented young man balanced precariously on a stack of chairs, his smile infectious as he flaunted his skills. The joyous laughter of children mixed with the lively chatter of adults, and for a moment, all worries seemed to fade away. I couldn't help but join in the applause, feeling a surge of joy wash over me. Our adventures continued as Hassan took me on a ferry ride to Menorah Island. As we glided across the water, the sea breeze whipped through my hair, and the setting sun painted the sky in hues of orange and pink. We arrived at the island, a serene escape from the city's hustle. We wandered along the sandy shores, collecting seashells and marveling at the beauty of the surroundings. It was a moment of pure bliss, a reminder to appreciate the small wonders in life. As the days unfolded, I dove deeper into the heart of Karachi and its rich culture. One evening, as the sun began to dip below the horizon, Hassan led me to a hidden courtyard tucked away in the city's bustling streets. It was a sanctuary of creativity, a space alive with artists passionately painting murals of freedom fighters, poets, and vibrant scenes of daily life. Art is the voice of the oppressed, he said, his gaze intense and focused on the canvases before us. As I spoke to the artists, their stories filled my heart with emotion. Each mural told a tale of struggle, hope, and resilience, their struggles pouring out in vibrant colors and bold strokes. One artist, a woman named Fatima, shared her journey of finding her voice through her art. It's our responsibility to reflect the truth and inspire change, she said, her passion unmistakable. I was captivated, feeling the weight of their stories resonate within me. Despite being merely a spectator, their fervor drew me into a cause larger than myself. The night didn't end there. The old man, curious about my intentions, extended an invitation to a gathering nearby. As I entered the dimly lit room, laughter and spirited discussions filled the air, and a sense of belonging enveloped me. People from all walks of life exchanged perspectives, their animated conversations blending into a harmonious chorus. I found myself sitting next to a gentleman named Amir, whose insights about the challenges the city faced were both thought-provoking and enlightening. We have our struggles, but we also have our strengths, he said earnestly. It's the resilience of our people that truly defines us. I nodded in agreement, feeling the weight of his words. As the night unfolded, stories of triumph, hardship, and dreams for a better future intertwined effortlessly. I shared my own experiences, and each exchange felt like stitching fabric into a larger tapestry of understanding and connection. By the time I eventually left the gathering, I had forged bonds with people I had just met, feeling like part of the communal narrative of hope and determination. After several mesmerizing days in Karachi, I prepared for my next destination, Peshawar. The anticipation bubbled within me, and I couldn't shake the sense that each city had its unique rhythm, its own heartbeat. Peshawar, known for its rich cultural history and significance, beckoned, promising a new layer of understanding. As I traveled to Peshawar, I was taken in by the rugged beauty of the surrounding landscape. The mountains towered majestically in the distance, a reminder of nature's steadfast presence. Upon my arrival, I was greeted by the warm smiles of locals, their hospitality wrapping around me like a comforting embrace. I felt at home. My first stop was the famed Peshawar Museum. Walking through its halls filled with ancient artifacts was like flipping through the pages of a history book. Rich tapestries, intricate sculptures, and ancient coins whispered stories of a time long past. One exhibit featured exquisite representations of Gandhara art, a beautiful amalgamation of Indian and Greek influences that flourished centuries ago. The artistry took my breath away, connecting me to a bygone era. Roaming the bustling bazaars of Peshawar was an adventure in itself. The vibrant stalls overflowed with handmade crafts, fragrant spices, and colorful textiles. I wandered through the narrow streets, each twist and turn revealing a new hidden treasure. The local vendors, with their warm smiles and friendly banter, made every interaction feel personal. I was offered a sample of juicy pomegranates, the burst of flavor igniting my taste buds. During my time in Peshawar, I also visited the famous Kissa Kwani Bazaar. The name itself translates to storyteller's market, and it lived up to its reputation. As I explored, I stumbled upon an elderly man sitting on a rug, surrounded by a captivated crowd. With expressive gestures and a twinkle in his eye, he recounted tales of brave warriors and legendary love stories. The laughter and gasps of the audience echoed, and I sat among them, engrossed in the rich oral tradition that connected generations. The evenings were filled with delicious food, a culinary delight that left my taste buds tingling. Aromatic kebabs, flavorful biryanis, and warm naan bread danced in my mouth, each meal an adventure in flavor and aroma. One night, I joined a local family for dinner, and the warmth of their hospitality was palpable. We shared stories, laughter, and a delicious feast, creating bonds that transcended language and culture. As my journey in Peshawar came to a close, I couldn't help but reflect on the incredible experiences I had encountered in these three cities. Lahore, Karachi, and Peshawar each held their unique charm, weaving together a vibrant tapestry of culture, history, and human connection. I left with memories etched in my heart, reminders of the strength of the people, the beauty of their stories, and the hope that illuminated their paths. With every step, I felt enriched, recognizing that, in the end, we are all connected by the shared tapestry of life, woven together through our experiences, dreams, and aspirations. After my vibrant visit to Lahore, where the streets pulsed with life and the echoes of laughter seemed to dance in the air, it was time to embark on another leg of my adventure, heading towards Karachi. Each mesmerizing moment spent in Lahore felt like a vivid brushstroke on the vast canvas of that city's spirit, full of vibrant colors and delightful chaos. I could still recall the rich tapestry of sights and sounds, the call to prayer resonating majestically through the bustling streets, the enticing aroma of spices wafting from every corner, and the lively chatter of locals engaging in animated discussions. Lahore had captured my heart, but the thrill of venturing into the unknown was calling me onward. As the journey to Karachi unfolded, the scenery outside my window transformed. The entertaining chaos of Lahore gave way to undulating landscapes that glistened under the bright Pakistani sun, dotted with patches of green and scattered towns that seemed to pulse with their own unique rhythms. The anticipation built within me as I approached the coastline, where Karachi awaited with its sprawling beaches, bustling ports, and rich cultural fusion. Upon arriving in Karachi, the first thing that hit me was the salty breeze that rushed past, invigorating my senses. The city felt alive. It buzzed with an energy that was infectious. I wandered through Clifton, where modernity intermingled with tradition. Shining skyscrapers stood proudly next to historic buildings, telling stories of the city's evolution. I strolled along the beach, where children played joyfully in the surf, laughter mixing with the cries of seagulls soaring overhead. Vendors lined the shore, their colorful stalls brimming with fresh fruit, hot snacks, and coconut water, enticing passersby. The vibrant sundown painted the sky in oranges and pinks, casting a dreamy glow over the scene. Eager to dive deeper into Karachi's cultural heart, I sought out the various neighborhoods rich in history. In the Sadar area, I felt as though I had stepped into another era. The magnificent colonial architecture stood as a testament to the past, telling tales of an era long gone. I visited a bustling market, where the air was thick with vibrant colors, loud conversations, and the irresistible aroma of street food. My taste buds danced as I savored spicy samosas, crispy pakoras, and delightful jalebis, all while exchanging smiles and nods with local vendors who proudly showcased their culinary creations. Yet, as much as Karachi thrilled me, I felt the pull to say farewell to this coastal city and continue my exploration. The allure of Peshawar drew me in, promising a journey filled with history and tradition. The bus ride was an adventure in itself, filled with chatter and laughter from fellow passengers, all eager to share stories about their lives and the tales of their homeland. As the landscape gradually changed, the flat terrains shifted to towering mountains, the beauty of nature around me leaving me in awe. Arriving in Peshawar was like stepping back in time. The air was thick with the rich aroma of grilled kebabs sizzling over charcoal, complemented by the sweet, fragrant scent of chai that wafted through the winding streets. The energy here was palpable, a mixture of the old and the new, where the past whispered softly alongside the present. Vendors shouted their wares as I made my way through the historic Kissa Kwani Bazaar, a a labyrinth of pathways that seemed to vibrate with centuries of stories echoing through the walls. As I wandered deeper into the bazaar, I found myself captivated by the sights. It was a living museum. The vibrant textiles, intricate handicrafts, and the faces of the merchants all told tales of trade that stretched across time. I struck up a conversation with a friendly shopkeeper whose laughter was contagious. He spoke passionately about the rich history of Peshawar and offered to be my guide to the famed Peshawar Museum, a treasure trove of regional heritage and art. With each story he shared, I felt the threads of history weaving themselves into my experience, binding me closer to this remarkable place. One evening, seeking respite from the bustling bazaar, I wandered into a quieter alley. Curiosity led me to a quaint tea house tucked away from the main thoroughfare. The walls were adorned with black and white photographs of legendary figures, their expressions frozen in moments of triumph and sorrow. The moment I entered, the owner, a warm elderly woman with a glimmer in her eye, welcomed me as if I were an old friend. She gestured to a cozy spot at one of the worn wooden tables, inviting me to sit and enjoy the warmth of her company. As we sipped on fragrant cups of chai, she shared stories that felt intimately personal yet profoundly universal. Tales of love that weathered the storms of life, losses that shaped her into the woman she was, and the small, resilient joys that adorned her days. Each story spilled forth like a treasured gem from her heart, each anecdote revealing layers of her character and the vibrant tapestry that made up her life. It was mesmerizing to listen to her, her voice a soothing melody as her hands animatedly gestured, painting vivid pictures of her experiences. I soon realized that both Karachi and Peshawar, in their unique ways, were not just places to visit. They were living entities filled with laughter, heartache, triumphs, and mundane beauty. They held the pulse of life and the spirit of their people, inviting anyone who wandered into their embrace to savor the uniqueness that each location had to offer. With every conversation, every shared smile, and every dish enjoyed, I found my understanding of Pakistan deepening. The cities were intertwined with stories and experiences that formed a rich mosaic, much like the country itself, a blend of cultures, histories, and human connections that resonated deep within me. It was a journey that was not just geographic. It became one of the heart, leaving me eternally grateful for the connections I formed and the memories that would remain etched in my soul. After my exhilarating visit to Lahore, where the vibrant streets echoed with the sounds of bustling vendors and the rich aromas of local cuisine, I found myself swept away by the allure of Karachi and subsequently Peshawar. Karachi, often referred to as the City of Lights, welcomed me with its sprawling shoreline, glittering skyscrapers, and a blend of cultures that created a unique tapestry of life. The moment I stepped into the city, I was enveloped by an atmosphere charged with energy, the hum of the city bustling with life. As I wandered the streets, the air was thick with the scent of spices and street food, tantalizing my senses. Vendors shouted out their goods with an infectious enthusiasm, enticing passers-by to sample their wares. I was drawn to a small stall where an elderly man was expertly crafting delicious biryani. The sight of him methodically layering rice and aromatic spices felt almost artistic, a labor of love that spoke volumes about the culture of Karachi. I struck up a conversation with him, and he shared stories of his youth spent in this vibrant city, where every street corner had a tale to tell. The passion in his voice as he recounted his memories was palpable, making every bite of the biryani more flavorful. My journey continued to Peshawar, a city that struck a different chord in my heart. Nestled at the foot of the mountains, Peshawar was steeped in history, with centuries of stories etched into its very walls. I was eager to explore the famed Peshawar Museum, where ancient artifacts whispered tales of civilizations that had long faded into the annals of time. As I walked through the exhibit halls, my fingers brushed against the cool surfaces of sculptures that had witnessed the ebb and flow of human history. Each piece seemed to pulse with life, drawing me into the enigmatic past of the region. The most transformative moments, however, emerged from my encounters with the local people. One afternoon, I found myself in the bustling Kissa Kwani Bazaar, the famed storytelling market. The sounds of hagglers and the fragrant scent of freshly brewed chai filled the air. I was captivated as I listened to a storyteller recounting ancient folk tales, his voice resonating with passion. The crowd was entranced, hanging on to every word, as the storyteller painted vivid pictures of heroes and legends. His ability to weave words into an intricate narrative was nothing short of magical, and I felt a deep kinship with the audience, united in that fleeting moment. As my time in Peshawar drew to a close, I sat on a bench contemplating everything I had experienced. The laughter echoing from nearby cafes, the vibrant colors of the bazaar, and the warmth of the people lingered in my thoughts like a sweet melody. I realized that this city, with all its complexities and contradictions, mirrored life itself, full of challenges, yet brimming with resilience. My heart swelled with a mix of gratitude and longing as I absorbed the beauty around me. Then it happened. A message popped up on my phone from a dear friend back in Karachi. She had sent a simple but profound text that read, "Remember, it's not about finding answers, but embracing the questions." A wave of realization washed over me as those words resonated deeply within me. The essence of my journey crystallized into a powerful truth. This adventure was more than just a series of destinations. It was about the connections I formed, the lives I crossed paths with, and the beauty found in uncertainty. I stood at the edge of the Khyber Pass, that historic gateway where east meets west, and I felt the weight of the world's history settle on my shoulders. The mountains, wise guardians of countless stories, rose majestically above me. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, allowing the warmth of the sun setting behind the peaks to envelop me. In that moment, I understood that every journey is akin to a mosaic, made up of experiences, both planned and spontaneous, each piece invaluable in its own right. As I prepared to leave, I couldn't resist taking one last glance at the landscape. The sun dipped further below the horizon, casting breathtaking shades of orange and pink across the sky, illuminating the mountains and revealing secrets that remained just out of reach. It filled me with a sense of wonder and anticipation for whatever lay ahead. With a heart full of memories and an insatiable thirst for exploration, I stepped towards the unknown, eager to embrace the adventures that awaited me. Life, I realized, would continue to unfold in ways I couldn't possibly foresee, but I was ready. Each journey, whether it led me back to Karachi or on to new horizons, was an opportunity to connect, to learn, and to celebrate the beautifully intricate web of human experiences. And, as I walked forward, I felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that every step would carry me closer to the stories waiting to be uncovered in this vast, spectacular world. Thanks for joining the adventure. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing travels. What was your favorite part? Let me know in the comments. Where are we heading next? Stay tuned, and see you in the next adventure.